To Foo Bar Weekly on KDSR, Demo Spin Radio, brought to you by ARC Network Live 365, the station where everyone deserves to be heard. The following program contains strong language and adult content. Listener discretion is advised. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
I agree, Bill O'Reilly. The fucking thing does suck. This is the Foo Bar Weekly podcast. Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome, Nicole.
Hey, Roger.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Wait, I got to reposition something so I'm not looking at you.
You can adjust your stuff, whatever needs to be adjusted.
I got to adjust my junk.
Hello, everybody. This is the Foo Bar Weekly show coming at you live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, because fuck the Central, Mountain, and Pacific times. Oh, and Hawaii. Can't forget them.
I like them.
Well, no, fuck their time zones.
I don't even know what time zone they're in. Aren't they in Pacific? I mean, I know they're in the middle of the Pacific. But
Hawaii? No, they have their own time zone.
Is it the Hawaii time zone?
Actually, I want to say it's 2 or 3 hours behind California. Hawaii's really fucking far in the fucking Pacific, and it's really far south.
Yeah.
Like people don't. Here's a trivia. I don't know if we did this. What's the closest state to Africa?
Hawaii.
No.
Texas. No. Florida. No,
Nope.
I don't know. New York.
Maine.
Oh yeah, because it's way up there.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
it's not just way north, but it's way east.
Yeah.
So the closest U.S. state is fucking Maine to Africa.
What's the longest you've ever been in a plane?
Probably 3 hours. I don't like flying.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I'm fat, so I don't fit in the seats right. So I don't like being there. Plus, I always end up getting stuck next to, and I say this on stage, I end up getting stuck next to a woman who's going to tell me about her great niece's vagina problems. Like, I'm not even kidding. This fucking happened. It was a flight from New York to here. And this woman's like telling me about her niece's fucking reproductive problems. And I don't know if she was like trying to like get me to say, oh, give her my number kind of thing. But it was just fucking weird. And I would just know.
For the most part, I've usually been pretty lucky on the people that I'm sitting next to on a plane if I don't know them. I think I was really young and I was flying separate from my mom. Like we were on the same plane, but we were flying standby. So we were on separate seats. And I sat next to a lady. I was like 12 or 13. I was like 12. And she was really nice. And she was like, are you flying by yourself? And I was like, no, my mom's over there. And then we started talking and she was asking me like, what type of favorite car is your car? And it's always been the VW Bug. And she started telling me about how her husband owns a VW dealership and that this is the year that like the new ones like
the new Beetle came out.
Yeah, they came out. So I don't know. I've never had any bad experiences on planes other than flying Delta.
I haven't had any bad experiences on planes. I had a bad experience in an airport. We were flying from New York to St. Louis on Continental.
Shout out to Continental
and shout out to Bobby Collins. We were flying, so we had to fly through Cleveland, and we got stuck in Cleveland for 8 fucking hours. And it wasn't so much that the airport was bad. All right, at the time, I was pretty much chain smoking. So in order for me to have a cigarette, I had to like go through security and go out to the street. So it was a pain in the ass. So, but 8 hours of that plus we were with my brother's friends who were annoying the shit out of me. They were like every fucking like trying to get to the gate, and every good looking girl that they walked past, they would stop and take a picture with. It was just fucking obnoxious to the point where when we finally got to the hotel, I ended up smashing one of the guy's faces into a stucco wall.
Good.
Yeah.
One of your brother's friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it was fucking annoying. But and then we ended up having to fly 8 hours in any airport would suck ass. You're damn right, Ron. Yeah, we ended up having to go. We had to fly from Cleveland to Chicago, and then Chicago to St. Louis.
I'm gonna tell you, my longest time I've ever been on an actual plane was 14 hours
Holy
from
shit.
here to Hawaii, and the longest time I've ever spent in an airport was, I don't even know how many hours. It was probably, I don't know if my mom's listening, maybe she can chime in. We got stuck. We kept getting bumped because she used to work for a company that was in cahoots with Continental.
Okay.
I don't know what their exact business relationship was, but we were able to fly standby anywhere.
Nice.
And so my dad was on a business trip in LA on purpose. And so he had flown there on purpose. And so we flew from South Florida to Houston, and we were stuck in the airport. We kept getting bumped. Every, literally probably 5 to 7 flights. We just bump up. Yeah. So we were stuck in the airport, and then finally we were like, hey, there's a flight going to San Jose. Where is that? California? Cool, we'll go, and then we'll drive. Not realizing that it was several hours from LA to San Jose and Santa Rosa. I don't remember exactly which one we flew into, but it's whatever. So we didn't end up meeting with my dad on that trip anyway, but we had fun time in San Francisco.
Yeah, I prefer to drive. I'm a big fan of drive. I love to drive. I drive to and from New York fucking every other month, it seems. But to me, there's something about being on the road, and when the weather sucks, it sucks. But I would rather take that extra day on each end of my vacation and drive somewhere.
I agree with that. One of the main reasons I don't like flying is because I'm not a very anxious person to begin with. I mean, I am a little bit when I get stressed out about shows and stuff, but I'm not, just in general, I'm not an anxious person.
Okay.
And when I fly, my anxiety gets heightened so much, I literally have broken out in hives.
Oh, wow.
So I think last time we were flying, my mom gave me Benadryl or Claritin, whatever. It wasn't even my prescription, and it just made me go to sleep. And I was happy.
You Valium or Xanax. A friend of mine's like that. She gets so fucking amped up and she hates flying. So in order for her to fly, she's got to have half a bottle of tequila and a couple Xanax. It's
so bad. I start crying. I stress out. I break out in hives. I can't breathe. It's really bad. The height of my anxiety never comes out until I'm on a plane.
See, what I found works best for me on a plane, because I don't get anxiety. I don't get anxious. It's whatever is going to happen is going to fucking happen. My thing is I don't like getting stuck. I flew Frontier when Frontier first started flying direct between here in Tampa and Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
I took a couple flights, and it seemed coming to, actually the first time flying from, and it was I think the first night or the first week they were doing this flight. We flew into Long Island, and of course it's a late flight because it's cheap and less traffic. We got to the gate and in New York, and the guy that was supposed to drive the jetway to set it up to the plane had gone home for the night.
Did you walk on the tarmac?
No, we had to wait for somebody to show up to do it. And then flying back that trip, the jetway here in Tampa broke down. So we had to wait for somebody to come and fucking fix it. And then another time flying back here on Frontier, we ended up getting stuck. I think it may have been an hour and a half just sitting on the fucking tarmac waiting for a gate to open up to pull up to.
Yeah, I remember. That's the other thing. I don't care about the dangers of flying. Like you said, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I think what really gets to me is the recycled air and the sitting so close in proximity with so many people.
Exactly.
For sitting in one spot, the fact that I can't get up, go use the bathroom, whatever I want. Those are the really bad things.
Fun fact, I have never, ever, ever used an airplane bathroom.
Roger, you wouldn't fit inside one.
Yeah, no.
If we're being honest.
You're not hurting my feelings.
So,
I have a very, very strong bladder.
Good for you.
And I'll pee at the airport before I get on the plane. Then I'll pee when I get off the plane.
I need to drink a lot of water when I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
I need to drink a lot of water and ginger ale when I'm on the plane.
See, I don't. I get my little snack. I get my little soda from the flight attendant, and I'm happy.
When I was in when we were going to South America, I forgot which stop it was, but by the end of the trip, we were coming back to America, and I had a big Ziploc bag full of cookies and crackers that we had gotten in South America, and a bunch of other just little snacks and things like that I was bringing home with me. And I remember we were stopped in, I think it was Colombia, and he opened up the bag and he held up the bag full of clearly cookies and treats, nothing, obscene. And he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Cookies." And he was like, he like said something to his friend on the side and like whispered it, and he was like, "Fine, take it."
Yeah.
So
Ron says he flew to Dubai once, 15 hours on one plane. He didn't have a choice but had to use the can. All right, that's acceptable. That's understandable. But I don't think unless unless somebody else is fucking paying for the trip, I will never fly to fucking anywhere that far.
I feel like I just imagined you. I thought you were going to say you'll never use the airplane bathroom. And you said you had a strong bladder. So I kind of like imagined you like opening the door and opening the toilet and just kind of using the bathroom from the outside.
I've done well. I'll tell you a funny story about that in a minute. But my question, Ron, is: was it number one or number two? Like in a confined space like that, number one's no problem. But years ago, we had a boat, and the boat had a bathroom,
mm-hmm.
but the bathroom was fucking tiny. And one time, I was having stomach problems, and I had to poo on the boat. I had to poo in the head, and I think I'm the only one that pooed in that boat.
Does it just go to the ocean, or does it go to a reservoir?
It goes to a black water tank.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So I had to poo, but this bathroom was fucking tiny. So literally I had to sit. The door was to my left. I had to have the door open because I just couldn't I had like my legs sticking out the fucking door.
Sorry.
Well, there was that. And I stayed at a hotel in New York City. I forgot the hell the name of it was, right by the Ed Sullivan Theater. And again, bathroom so fucking small, I had to leave the door open.
There was, so Mike is 6'2", and he's told me that in the airplane bathrooms, he kind of has to like tilt his head a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Ron said it was a number 2. See, I wouldn't do that, Ron. I would like, I'm weird. I'm a home shitter. Like, unless it's an extreme emergency, I don't duke anywhere but home or like a home equivalent. So if I'm like staying in a hotel, I can duke in the hotel. I can poop my in-laws now. But like, I won't, like when I'm working, like if I have to poop, I'll go home.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I've pooped here.
No, I do. You know what? I need my hardwood toilet seat and my stack of nudie mags. That's what I need. Cynthia, I pooped for the first time on a plane bathroom only a year or so ago. I went 44 years without pooping on a flight, and you fly a lot, Sin. So that's pretty impressive. What's up, Brian Burke?
Hi, Brian Burke.
I'm
Welcome
slightly
back.
more. Ron says he's slightly more petite than me.
I think he's.
You are using that word very generously. I'm just kidding. Ron's not. He's not a tiny guy. Why does it say
Ronald is replying to Ronald?
Oh, he I guess he was telling me that he was doing number 2, replying to his original comment.
Oh, I gotcha. Sorry.
Don't ask me to explain it. I fucking can't.
Okay.
So yeah, what I do, because I hate talking to people when I get on a plane, I bring my earbuds, but I like to hear what's going on because I'm like observational. I like that. So I'll sit in my seat. I'll put my earbuds in and then just tuck the wire in my pocket. And just put sunglasses on and nobody talks to me.
Do you know, I have a pair of earbuds that they're like a tangle resistant, and they're beaded and they're girly and pretty and whatever. And but I like them because they're tangle resistant and they have a magnet that goes behind your neck.
Nice.
And so it doesn't like fall off randomly. And people will still talk to me while I'm wearing them because they don't realize that it's earbuds and they think it's just like a pretty necklace or something. And I'm just like, no, leave me alone.
Are they actually in your ear?
Yeah, they are. Oh. They go from here to here to here.
That's probably why, because they're tucked behind. No, I wear them. I put them in my ear. I have them hanging in the front. They're bright white. I usually always wear black so they stand out. But I can't fucking. I don't like people.
I don't like people either. I won't go as far as doing the nothing in my ears though. I mean, no headphones or whatever.
Yeah, no, you got to put something in. But I don't I'll stare out the window. Like I have to sit in a window seat because I'm so fucking wide. I kind of got to like roll my shoulder into the window. So I'll have to actually go down the row and pick a specific seat with the seat placed with the window in a certain position, so it's right where it needs to be. I'm fucking weird. Leave me alone.
I prefer the window seat only because I can kind of like curl up to the wall because I usually sit like I'm sitting right now on a plane with my feet up on the chair, and because
you're small enough to fucking do that. Okay, yeah. I get it. Thanks. Fucking show off.
Sorry, but then I also struggle because I want to sit on the aisle so I can just get up and walk around when I want and not have to like sit on strangers' laps.
Yeah.
So because that's weird.
That's another reason why I sit in the window, because I'm so big. If somebody needs to get out of the row, they got to climb over me, or I got to get up. I get in my seat, I buckle up, and I just fucking stay there.
I don't. I hate it. Fuck that shit. I need to be walking around. If I could be doing acrobats on the plane.
Strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
I love people who use speakerphone on the plane. Yeah, speakerphone.
Oh, that's terrible.
You know what? No, fuck that. Speakerphone in public in general. I don't want to hear who you're talking to. I don't care what the fuck your conversation. Ooh, I can see you talking to somebody. You're some big fucking fancy special person. No, fuck you. Shut your fucking. You know what? Just shove the phone up your ass while you're at it.
You know what's a terrible thing?
Everything.
That's what's like a terrible habit that people are doing these days that I don't like. It's like my personal pet peeve.
Texting while driving.
That too.
I do that. I'm horrible.
I do sometimes too.
Yeah.
But no, when people are, because FaceTime is a thing now. Remember back in the day when we were younger, when I was younger and probably when you were younger, they would be like, in the future, we're going to be able to talk to people in real time by staring at our phones. And now FaceTime.
The people are watching us in real time.
Yeah, for real.
It's like it's the same thing, whether I'm on the phone or, I have it hooked up to a computer because it's just fancier that way.
I was just thinking when people are like walking and they're like FaceTiming and they're like, say hi to my cousin. Like, no, I don't want to. And then I have a friend who will only call me on FaceTime. She won't call me like a normal person. She'll just FaceTime me and I have to decline her call because I'm like, I'm laying in fucking bed, not dressed. I don't want to talk to your face. Talk to my ear.
No, that was the worst thing when I was a kid. Not, I love my family, but every holiday, did you do the pass the phone around?
Yeah.
Like you'd be in the middle, dude. Like you don't know if anybody's on the fucking phone. It's like, here, talk to your aunt that you have never fucking met. Talk to her. It's like, no. And the problem is everybody's so fucking loud. You can't hear anything. And now they do it with FaceTime and it's even worse because you still can't fucking hear anything.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I can see you. And I usually do some stupid, I like pick my nose or something and just move on.
I call my family on holidays and it's the same thing. And I'll be the one on the phone, but they'll be passing the phone around and I'll just be like, wait, let me talk to my aunt again. Wait, come back.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't done talking to my cousin. Come back.
You know how I solved that problem?
What?
I don't call anybody on holidays anymore.
Well, then I get bitched at by my family that I don't love them and I've neglected them.
Oh.
Pobrecito.
Oh. Did you just ask it for a taco? Oh, I made tacos tonight.
No, I didn't ask you for a taco.
I made tacos tonight. I made hard shell tacos tonight.
Why?
Because I was in the mood for them.
No, like hard shell tacos are bad.
I'm trying to lose weight and eat more whole grains and stuff.
Okay.
But when I was in the taco aisle, they had blue corn hard shell tacos.
Is that what you made? Or made your tacos
that's what
in?
I got, yeah.
Cool.
They were delicious.
Okay, I might be down for that.
Yeah, they were good.
But regular hard corn tacos are icky to me. They cut my mouth.
Yeah, they usually do, but I was in the mood for that. And plus, I'm trying to get the family to eat more whole grain stuff, and those are whole grain, believe it or not.
Okay.
They are technically healthier than a flour tortilla. Flour tortillas have a shitload of fucking carbs and calories in them. It's ridiculous.
I knew about the carbs. I didn't know about the calories.
Hard shell are not bad. They may or may not be Mexican, but they are awesome. That is true. That is true. But I did do the gringo thing, and I got the ones with the flat bottom, so they stand up when you.
Oh, that's not the gringo thing. That's a smart thing.
Yeah, I like it. It worked, but they were good.
Oh, good. It is Taco Tuesday.
It was delicious. Yeah, it was a delicious taco.
Good.
And I can't, like, Taco Bell sells their fire, so I love their fire sauce on tacos. It is like I've never found another sauce it's like got the best flavor. It doesn't have a lot of heat, but it's got really good flavor.
You try the Diablo sauce? That's my favorite.
It's gross to me. It tastes gross. It doesn't have a good flavor. Forget about the heat. I can eat some spicy shit. The flavor's just not there.
You going to the Hot Mess Show tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah,
I'll see you there. See you there.
Sweet.
See you there. I'm gonna go eat one of those wings at the end of the show if they let me.
Yeah,
you should do it too.
I just want to taste the sauce.
I don't know if they'll let you, but sure, why not?
Yeah,
just eat a chicken wing.
No.
Okay, fine.
I don't eat chicken wings out. I'm weird. I believe it or not, I have a lot of weird things going on. I'm going to talk about some of my weird shit in a little bit.
Okay.
Like, actually, well, we'll get right into the weird shit that happened today. I went to the doctor today for the first time in almost 2 years.
That is a weird thing. No,
I don't. It is. I don't go to the doctor unless I'm dead or dying or there's something like wrong. I don't go for checkups. I go when there's a fucking problem. Like, fix this shit. So, to be gross, for anybody who's a fan of Dr. Pimple Popper, I had a nasty ass abscess under my armpit. It started like it actually came on pretty quick. I didn't feel it till like this past Wednesday, and I felt it was felt like a pimple coming on, but it felt like pea-sized, but it wasn't up to the head, so I just kind of dealt with it, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. So it started hurting to the point where this weekend I didn't do shit because it hurt so much.
That sucks.
Like, it fucking hurt. Then yesterday I noticed it came to like a little head, so I took a little lancet and gave it a little pop, and it was like somebody turned a fucking faucet of pus. You're welcome for anybody who's listening and visualizing this. It was fucking disgusting. It was legit disgusting. I took pictures of it, and I texted my sister, whom I love very dearly, and said, "Hey, Sin, do you watch Dr. Pimple Popper?" "Oh, fuck no." "Okay, check this out." And I sent her the picture. One of the pictures I took actually made my armpit look like a vagina. I showed you that one.
It actually, it kind of looked like this, if we're being honest.
Yeah, except it was a white nipple, and there was a little more hair.
It's like more flat.
A little more hair.
Okay.
So this thing was fucking huge. So today I decided I got to go to the doctor. I got to get it drained out, and I got to get some antibiotics. So this is me being a petty bitch. I fucking hate waiting. I hate going to restaurants and having to wait a half an hour for a table. I'm not going to wait a half an hour for a table.
No.
I'll go through a fucking drive-through. I'll get fucking Outback takeout. I will not. It annoys the shit out of me because my kids are pains in the asses. When's the table going to be ready? I'm hungry. Well, I'm fucking hungry too, you little shit.
Anybody ever, as a restaurant, ever tells me anything more than 20 minutes, I'll usually just be like, okay, never mind, because I figure there's a restaurant closer that.
No, I'm a dick, and I won't say okay, never mind. I'll just fucking leave.
What's the difference?
Because then they'll be like, Nelson, party of 5? Nelson, party of 5?
You should tell them you're leaving, because then you got some poor server's hopes up that they were getting a 5-top.
That's true. Now I feel bad. Just a little bad. Well, the server.
You could be like, fuck you and leave.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, then you get the best of both worlds.
But so anyway, so I go to the doctor. It was an 11:30 appointment. I'm early. I'm always early. So, and not that I expect them to take me early, but I figure I get there, I sign in, I should be
on time,
relatively on time. And people came in after me and got called in. Like, what the fuck? And I ended up waiting. I got there at 11:15. I ended up not getting called till almost 12:15. So sitting there a fucking hour twiddling my thumbs, like my time is not fucking valuable. Pisses me off.
Recently, I read about a establishment, which I will not say the name of it because it's local, that they're hosting interviews, and there's a Tampa bartenders and servers forum that it's like a little inside scoop. Okay. ITB hospitality stuff. And somebody was complaining that this establishment is making people wait almost an hour to an hour and a half just for their interview to see if they're committed to the job.
Wait, so they're intentionally making them wait?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Exactly. And I think and somebody had pointed out on the forum, on the thread, they said that it's an interview for you just as much as an interview for them. Do you really want to work for somebody who doesn't take your time seriously?
See, and that's the thing is people get it in their heads that when they're going for an interview, it's they are being interviewed. No, it's not just you. Yeah, you are being interviewed, but you need to interview the company just as much as they need to interview you. And especially if your direct report supervisor is going to be there, you need to interrogate that fucker as well. Because yeah, all right, they're giving you money for your time. You're giving your time for some money. So you need to make sure that you interview them. And most people in the question, oh, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, and most people will say no and move on. No, I always have questions. I always want to clarify something. And
when I interview people, I want to ask questions.
It shows interest. And it shows that they're invested in the position.
Yeah. I ask questions intentionally, and I'll ask weird questions.
Like what?
What are the paid holidays?
Christmas, Easter.
It depends on the company.
Well, okay.
That's actually not one that I would ask. That's actually a bad one to ask. It's like, what days are you paying me for to not work? I can't think of any. I haven't gone to a job interview in fucking so long. I can't remember the questions I used to ask, but my father taught me always ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're interviewing them, they're interviewing you. It goes both ways. And there are some people that like get pissed off when you ask questions and start like
employers.
You're not turning the interview around, but it's a little give and take.
No, I feel like a interview should be more like a conversation.
It should be get to know them.
Yeah.
Strengths, weaknesses. I'm trying to remember who the hell it was. He would when he, and this isn't for like entry level position. It was for executive level stuff. But he would take his interviews to lunch and interview them over lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big things was if your food was put in front of you and you added salt and pepper to it without tasting it, you would not get the job.
I agree with that. How are you going to tell me how are you going to make changes to something before you've ever seen it?
Exactly.
Like,
you don't trust the chef enough to have seasoned your food properly Where now I'm not talking about like when you go to any restaurant I ever go to, if I get eggs, like if it's for breakfast,
Yeah.
I always load it up with pepper because I love a fuckload of pepper on my eggs.
No ketchup.
I'm not going to open it up. I'm just going to throw it at you. No ketchup on eggs. Jesus. That's disgusting. That's offensive.
I don't. Okay. Go.
Yeah. Unless you're Benny. Benny is the only one allowed. But no, I will load because no chef would put the amount of pepper that I like on my eggs on my fucking eggs.
I probably would. You know what me and Mike always make fun of restaurants that have ground pepper, pre-ground pepper on the table, like powdered pepper.
Why do you make fun of it? Because it doesn't have any flavor?
Because it doesn't have any flavor.
Yeah.
And so every time that we go to a restaurant, they have the grinder on the table. We're like, look, they're modern or whatever.
They know what fucking food tastes like.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if I go to Denny's or something because they have the pre-ground peppers. It's like you got to fucking extra put it on there. But I use nothing but fresh ground at home. Good,
same.
Unless it's a recipe where it needs to be white pepper.
White pepper.
White pepper.
Sorry.
White pepper.
Do they sell white peppercorns pre-ground? I mean, unground, whole. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I don't use it often enough, so I bought it pre-ground.
Same.
White pepper.
Yeah, we have I usually get if I can, I get the whole peppercorns that are all mixed up.
Oh, the multicolored?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I just buy black fucking pepper. It's just me. Or nowadays, companies only hiring people in their 20s because they don't think. There is a big push for millennials, and in my experience of hiring millennials, now granted, the positions I'm hiring these people for are not skilled positions. They're basically entry level. All you need is a fucking pulse kind of position. They are the fucking worst. Millennials are the fucking worst. I
can't agree with that.
You can't?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah.
I train people at my job, and I fully agree with that.
In the service industry, definitely. And what sucks is you'll get like one awesome fucking younger person, and then everybody else just sucks because they don't want to work. They have no work ethic. They have no fucking morals. They have no. They just want to show up, come and go as they please, spend the time fucking off on their phone. Like in the line of work I hire people for, fucking off is an art. Like you can fuck off on your phone and look like you're working. They can't even figure that shit out. So I'll get calls from clients. Oh, so and so was on the job and they just sat in front and played on their computer all day. Well, great. Now that person doesn't have a fucking job.
Yeah. And
the other problem is them calling out. Oh, I got to take today off. I got to take today off.
I see that a lot at my job too. I can count on one hand the number of times I've called out from a job.
Yeah. And I mean, now that I'm an executive, I have a lot of flexibility in schedule, but I don't take even when I take days off, like when I travel to New York, my computer comes with me, my phone comes with me. I work on the road. I don't take a vacation. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm still working. I'm still answering the phone. I'm still doing what I got to do. And I mean, there are people that will just shut off. I mean, and I get it. So sometimes you have to shut down and walk away. But I got hired and fired in the same day. Owner told me I'd be better behind a desk answering a phone. That's fucked up.
I got hired and fired in the same day one day too, but it was working at a pizza shop.
I got hired and quit the same day.
Same. I've done that a few times. Yeah. I've done that like probably about 2 or 3 times.
See, my biggest what was the I don't know if we ever talked about that, like the best job or the best quitting scenario you ever did, like the best departure. Yeah.
I never had any kind of like a dramatic exit. The thing I did is that one day I got really sick of my job and then I went home for lunch and never came back for the rest of my life.
I've done that once or twice. Now the best one I ever had was and I don't even care about calling out the company because it's a shitty fucking company. I have not set foot or spent a penny in one of their stores since I quit, and that would be Macy's.
I don't think I have because I can't afford it.
Yeah. It's actually not that expensive for the most part. They're right now. I mean, it used to be really fancy. Right now, Macy's is like a fucking half a step above JCPenney. I'm not talking bad about JCPenney because I worked for them and they were great. I'm a Dillard's gal myself. We didn't have Dillard's in New York, so I don't know. But my quitting from JCPenney's was pretty funny because I quit and on good terms. But as a practical joke, I switched the M and N keys on the keyboard of the general manager. and they found out it was me, and he had an M or an N in his password, and it was a problem.
How do you not notice that though?
If you just hunt and peck, you don't. I don't type with all my fingers. I'm a hunt and pecker.
I do.
I type with these 6 fingers. That's it. I don't use my pinkies or my ring fingers.
When I was in school, they made us learn how to type by putting like a piece of paper over our hands so we could learn how to type without looking.
Yeah, I didn't do that shit. I probably cut school that day. But the spectacular departure where I truly nuked the bridge. Always wanted to hire a band to play Take This Job and Shove It. That's awesome, Ron. My spectacular quit was from Macy's. And it really wasn't even spectacular because it was like the quitting process, or the quitting was pretty fucking simple. I typed out my letter of resignation. I worked out to the end of my last shift because I'm not going to, not do my responsibilities. So I worked to the end of that night, and at the Macy's stores, security has the keys. The store managers don't have keys for the store. The security does. Mm-hmm. We have the alarm codes. So I had to stay till the end of the night. I was the only one on. I had to lock the store up. So at the end of the night, I locked the store up. I set the alarm. I go downstairs. I lock the door. We all leave as a group. The way Macy's did it, there was a telephone box outside. So you had to lock the doors, lock up, wait like a minute for the alarm to set. And then you called their central dispatch. You tell them this is store whatever, closing procedure is done. Are we clear? And if the alarm's set correctly and everything's clear, they'll tell you you're clear and you can go home. So went through the whole process, handed the manager on duty my keys, and said, I quit. And I just walked away. Now, prior to doing that, I typed out a letter of resignation, and I left it under my direct boss's door, the store manager's door, and the director of human resources door. Slid it under. The store manager, I don't remember if he quit or was transferred. My boss got fired. And the vice president of my department, who didn't even work in my store, was fired. I threw everybody under the fucking bus. There was a whole lot of shady shit going on. I threw everybody under the fucking bus. Fuck them all. And to this day, I will not fucking set foot in that store because they just treat their people like shit.
I try not to burn my bridges, but sometimes you don't have a choice. I tried to give my 2 weeks notice when I worked at Chili's, and they were like, well, as long as you're not going to work here anymore, you can just go home now. And I was just like,
all right, toodaloo, ass.
Yeah. I don't, that's why I have really mixed feelings about giving 2 weeks notices, because you're in like a 2-week purgatory of do I or don't I have a job? Because to me, I feel like a lot of people, if you tell them, oh, I can't start for another 2 weeks, they're like, cool, well, there's people who can start now, so we're going to hire those people instead. Yeah. And then the other side of it is I don't want to just leave my job.
I've been on all sides of that. Mm-hmm. I've been the employer who needed somebody right away.
Yeah.
I've also been the employer who was able to wait 2 weeks. I've been the employee who was able to start right away, and the employee who had to give 2 weeks. So I've seen all 4 scenarios, and there are pros and cons to each. I've had people give me their 2 weeks, and I'll tell them, I'm like, do you have a job lined up, ready to go? Yeah. Do you want to start it immediately? Yeah. Then I'll say, if
I would love a manager who has open communication like that.
Yeah.
I would communication is key to any healthy work environment.
My employees love me, and I love my employees.
Good. For the most part, I like my managers. I'm at my job. Yeah. It's just some of them that can go suck a dick.
Yep. Wait.
Okay.
Sorry.
I like how the sound waves are coming up when you did that. Hey guys.
What's funny? You want to see something with that sound bar?
What?
Okay, so when I do any kind of voice work, if I make a mistake and want to remove something,
yeah,
I'll say a certain word. And the reason why I say this word is because of the way the sound pattern looks. I can easily identify it.
Can you say it?
It'll be 3 things. Scratch. 3. See it?
Oh yeah,
Scratch.
look at that.
Well, actually, that didn't do it. Scratch.
Oh, look at
now
that.
Now it's not fucking doing.
Well, yeah, I did a little bit on the second one.
Scratch.
Cool. Huh.
See? Scratch my balls.
So now when you're
But
editing this, you're going to be like, I have to cut this whole section.
No, I'm gonna leave that in.
Okay.
No, and it's funny when I edit it, I could just look at the sound waves and I could see where my cuts are because of that. When I'm recording, I'm using the same voice. Or I'm using a specific voice, and I can see the sound wave pattern, so I know exactly where to go to cut.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's fun.
My
little tricks,
little things.
That's like when people edit videos, they like put their hand in front to like signify like the end of a cut or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that works.
It's your own hand.
Yeah,
it's your own. Not.
I don't know where my hands have been.
Me neither.
So what else did I want to bitch about? There was some shit I wanted to bitch about. Does anybody want to bitch about anything?
Bitch to us.
Bitch to us. We used to use Pickup. Okay. Yeah. Now, did you use that, Ron? Because you're so old you recorded shit on tape. So actually, you're probably so old you recorded shit onto wax cylinders. Seriously, that's how they used to record
the things. I know what you're talking about.
No, old.
Yeah,
it was like a drum that spun this way and it cut the groove in the wax.
It kind of works like how a music box works, but not exactly.
In reverse.
Yeah. I
actually saw a video where this metal band recorded heavy metal on the old wax cylinder. Nope, dig. This band and the way, I mean, literally the way the first types of recordings were, it was a big sound horn that literally went to a needle that was resting on the wax and it would cut the vibrations in. So it wasn't like any electrical connections. It was literally a physical, thing. And this band, like they had all their amps and shit pointed right at this horn and
That's
they played.
Cool.
It was pretty cool. And the playback on it, you could hear it, but you could also hear the quality was shit, which you'd expect it to be on a wax cylinder. Did you guys see the LPs are coming back in style? Yeah.
We have a whole section at work for them. We've had a whole section at work for them for a long time.
Yeah.
And they never went out in my book.
They never went out. I do not have a record player or whatever they call it these days. A turntable. I don't have a turntable, a record player, a phonograph. I don't own one. I think people who do own them, my stepdaughter has one and they have a collection of vinyl. It's really cool. It's awesome. It's vintage. It's cool. It's classic, but I don't have the fucking patience for that, like at all. Like you got to be really gentle with it. I'm a fucking bull in a china shop. I need everything I own to be bulletproof and idiot proof. Like seriously, I fucking destroy everything and not intentionally. I'm a big, I'm a monkey with opposable thumbs is what it comes down to.
My parents had a record player growing up, and that's how I listened to a lot of my first exposure to music was on records.
Yeah.
And 45s, which is also a record, but
see, my parents had a record player, but they didn't really have too many records. My exposure to pre-recorded music was fucking 8 tracks. 8-track tapes.
I gave away a box of those.
Yeah.
Do I still have it? No, I must have given it away. Somebody was throwing out a giant box of 8 tracks on the side of the road, and I literally just picked it up.
Was there anything good in there?
Not really, honestly, and that's why I think I gave away most of it.
I had bought a 1983 Oldsmobile that had an 8-track player in it when I got it. I didn't buy it in 1983. I'm a little bit younger than that, but yeah. And I think I may still have it in my garage. I took it out and replaced it with the
8-track player.
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
took it out and replaced it with a cassette player, which was actually obsolete.
I have a cassette player at home.
Yeah,
it still works.
Nice.
It's attached to a radio that my aunt gave me a really, really long time ago. Okay. And the speakers, you can't plug anything else into it because the speakers are like so old that they just go with that. And it wasn't even that old. It was probably from like the late 90s, if I'm thinking about it, 97 or something.
Yeah, cassettes held up until the late the late 90s. I mean, late 90s when you really started seeing, everything was changing over really to CDs, but you could still get cassettes. And the one thing that was cool about cassettes that you little fucking young kids don't know the beauty of this anymore was sitting listening to the radio for a song that you liked so you could record it so you could listen to it whenever you wanted.
I had the side by side and I would record it and then I'd stop it, and then I'd like make a mixtape.
Yep.
Or whatever. People don't understand that like making a mixtape, you had to listen to the whole song.
Oh yeah.
You can't just like drag and drop like you can these days.
Well, I remember I think my brother had one. It was a side-by-side dual cassette deck that you could actually record at a higher speed.
Oh, I think I could do that too.
You'd play it back, and it was like 4x speed or whatever. And now the quality goes down the faster you run the tape. But
yeah, you can do it slow too.
Yeah.
So
you talk like this.
I thought that I was going to be a DJ or a singer or something when I was younger, and so I set up a recording studio.
You are a something. Okay, you are a something.
I am a
You're
something.
a special something. I don't know what, but no, I'm just kidding.
It's truth. I set up a recording studio, and I use that term loosely because I was like 7.
That's like calling this a radio studio.
Well, I was like, I had a desk lamp that I had like turned to face me, and I like hung the microphone from the desk lamp.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought I thought I was going to be something amazing.
You are.
I thought I was going to be a radio personality.
Okay, instead you're an amazing dancer. There you go.
Yay! I actually now that you just jarred a bunch of memories in my mind now.
It's okay, that's what we're here for.
I had a friend who she wasn't quite a babysitter, but she was older than me, and so my parents would have them come over to my house and we'd play. And I remember one day we tried to do a radio program, and so we had the tape recorder set up and we had the regular radio set up, and whenever the radio went to commercial, we would turn it down and we'd start like recording our radio program, and then when the music came back on, we'd turn the music back up. So whatever. I was a little kid, and that's how we had fun. I also used to make stop go animation on my not Betamax, whatever it was.
It's funny. We used to when I was working at the Raceway years ago, we used to record all the radios, the two-way radios. We used to record on VHS because VHS has multiple channels in it. And all obviously two-way radios are all mono, so you don't need stereo. So you had like your two I think it's 6. Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. You probably know this. How many different tracks there are on a VHS, but I never knew how VHS worked until recently. And I always, I would take appliances apart and shit. But on a VHS, the playback head, which would spin, was tilted. It was at an angle. It never made sense to me. Like, why is it at an angle when the tape moves this way?
I
and
just thought it like so it could like roll over it.
Because in the tape, the video image is in slices.
Oh yeah, I did know
it's
that.
Not a constant strip. The audio track is on the top and bottom edge, but the image is in slices. So we actually used all of those slices and the audio and the left and right stereo audio to record all of our radio communications. So we had records. If there was an incident or something, we could play back our radio communication. But they used to use VHS tapes. Weird. VHS, man. They call that a helical scan. Yes, that is correct. Only 2 audio tracks on a video recorder. Yep. Kids these days will never understand the commitment required to make a mixtape. That is correct. Because you not only had to listen through the whole song. That was a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
But you had to like wait on the unless you had somebody else had a copy of it. You had to wait for the song to come on the radio and record it.
Yeah.
You always had the radio DJ's intro and outro at each end of the song. But you'd make that mixtape and you'd give it to the dude or chick that you wanted to bang, wanted to hook up with and make out with. Yeah, I made a mixtape for you.
I was an only child growing up with the exception of the few friends I had and my cousins. And I entertained myself a lot by making my own radio program.
Every kid did it. Every kid with that had something you could record on a microphone. Every kid did it. Yeah.
My first cassette player was like the box one with the handle.
Okay.
And then finally my aunt gave me the radio, which miraculously had a microphone plug, and I had a microphone from something else for some reason.
Huh.
So
there you go. It was all instant setup. Yo, what's up, Rando? So you had a special recorder then? No, it wasn't a special recorder. We were using a VCR. If I remember, the dude set it up through a VCR, and we recorded 6 two-way radio communications. 6 frequencies. Maybe it was less than 6. It's us and the track services, the officials. Or maybe it was 3 or 4 tracks, but he used VHS because it was the only thing you'd be able to get all the communications on one tape and be able to separate them. Don't ask me. He was fucking science nerd radio guy.
Hey,
ham radio people.
My mom just joined us.
Oh, what's up, Ma?
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Randy, watching a documentary on the US Festival, or the US Festival, while you'll talk about 8 tracks. Yeah, buddy. I don't know what the US Festival is. What's the US Festival?
It's about us.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Okay.
I don't see that. I don't even see that message.
Yeah, I don't know what the US Festival is, dude. 8 tracks are fucking dope, man. Hey, Randy. Randy's my brother, by the way. It's my baby brother. Do you remember when we were kids, before we'd be able to come downstairs and open up Christmas presents, Dad would play the Christmas music on the 8-track? Like 8 tracks of Christmas music, and that's like when they would turn the music on. That's when we were able to come downstairs.
The other day, I was cleaning out my house and I found a cassette of Christmas music. But you know how when cassettes get old, they start sounding slow.
Yeah.
So it was just creepy sounding. I loved it.
Okay, he told me to look it up. Can't even give me an explanation. US Festival was the name of 2 early 1980s. Oh, hang on, here we go. Steve Woz. Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple and creator of Apple I and Apple II personal computers, believed in the 1970s that were the me generation. He intended the US festivals with Bill Graham's participation to encourage the 1980s to be more community-oriented and combine technology with rock music. That's awesome. That's actually pretty cool.
Genesis playing there?
Let's see. Labor Day weekend, 1982.
Or Kraftwerk?
It was a 3-day festival. So Friday, you had Gang of 4, the Ramones, the English Beat, Oingo Boingo, the B-52s, the Talking Heads, and the Police. Saturday, September 4th, excuse me, you had Joe Chirino, I don't know who the fuck that is, Dave Edmunds, Eddie Money, Santana, the Cars, the Kinks, Pat Benatar, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And then Sunday was Breakfast with the Grateful Dead and the Grateful Dead, Jerry Jeff Walker, Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band, fins up, baby, Jackson Brown and Fleetwood Mac.
Do you know who Oingo Boingo is?
Well, the lead singer is Danny Elfman.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Who does all the music for Tim Burton's movies.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then in 1983, I guess this festival only lasted 2 years. They had theme days. So Saturday, it was 4 days: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They spread it out. So it was Saturday, the May 28th, Sunday the 29th, Monday the 30th, and then Saturday, June 4th. So you actually spread it out over a week. Damn. So this is 1983. The Saturday New Wave Day was the Divinals. I Touch Myself. The lead singer passed away a couple of years ago, breast cancer. Very sad.
Oh, that's
the video for that song, I Touch Myself, was filmed in a convent. They had to keep the nuns upstairs so they could get the shots without telling them what they were doing. It was kind of cool. In Excess, Wall of Voodoo, and it was Stan Ridgway's last appearance with Wall of Voodoo, Mexican radio. No, you don't know that song? I Wish I Was in Tijuana. Oingo Boingo, the English Beat, Flock of Seagulls, the Stray Cats, who were fucking awesome.
Yeah, a big fan.
Men at Work.
Also,
I come from the land down under.
Also a big fan.
The Clash, and that's Mick Jones's last appearance with the Clash. Then Sunday, the 29th, was Heavy Metal Day, which had Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, Triumph, Scorpions, and Van Halen. Rock Day was Monday. They had Los Lobos, who were most famous for redoing La Bamba when they did the La Bamba movie. But they were only on a side stage. Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul. It's Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band. All right. What song did this band sing? Quarter Flash.
Don't know.
Harden My Heart.
Don't know that song.
And the only reason why I can remember that is because I used to drive a tow truck for a company called Quarter Flash Towing. And then the band, the company wasn't named for the band. His concept was just like 15-minute service, quarter of an hour. Berlin, Missing Persons, U2, The Pretenders, Joe Walsh, Stevie Nicks, and David Bowie. And then Saturday, the June 4th, was a country day, which is the Thrasher Brothers, Ricky Skaggs, Hank Jr., Emmylou Harris and the Hot Band, Alabama, Waylon Jennings, Riders in the Sky, and the man I'm going to see in concert this coming Friday,
Willie Nelson.
Uncle Willie Nelson.
Cool.
I'm actually really fucking stoked to see Willie. So I looked it up, Rand.
That sounds amazing. I want to go to that show had I been alive.
What? Oh, that show? Yeah.
Both of them.
I was alive, but I was like 5.
I was like negative numbers.
You're right, Randy. Wozniak is an amazing dude, and it's a damn shame that scumbag piece of shit, Steve Jobs, shit all over him and screwed him over. But that's neither here nor there because that fucker's dead, so fuck him. And fuck Apple products while you're at it.
Yeah.
That's just, a little side fun. But no, that actually was a pretty badass concert. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. Yeah, Toby Keith. Saw him in concert too. I'm actually looking forward to that. Me and little Raj going to see Willie Nelson this Friday at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City. Did you hear about the whole thing with Steven Tyler?
No, what happened?
Steven Tyler, he's got like a band. I forget what the hell the name of his band is. Not Aerosmith.
I was gonna say.
Don't fucking go there.
Okay.
No, he's got another project he's working on because Aerosmith is on a hiatus. They broke up again or whatever. But he's got a band, and they were supposed to play the Strawberry Festival, but they canceled like last week. Fucking Strawberry Festival starts this week. And the replacement they got is Pitbull Toddler, which is Mike Calta's band, the cowhead, fucking shithead from the fucking
the radio
Bone. Yeah, they got his fucking band because they're available and nothing else going on. So
wow, Steven Tyler instead of Mike Calta. Wow,
you got Mike Calta instead of Steven Tyler. That's a real fucking step down.
I'm going to be at the Strawberry Festival on Monday, March 4th in the parade.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Shaking my tail feathers as a...
Where's this parade?
At the festival? At the Strawberry Festival.
Oh, you can do a parade there?
Yeah.
I should go.
On Monday, March 4th.
Nice.
The parade starts at 1. I think it's from 1 to 3, and I'm going to be there since probably 10:30 or 11 in the morning.
Nice. No, I'm not going down to Coconut Creek. Willie Nelson's doing the Strawberry Festival up here in Plant City, which is up near Tampa. That's a while since I thought he was Coconut Creek Casino March 1st. Yeah, he's probably doing a little Florida tour. Willie's getting old. He's actually getting really fucking old.
I know. I think he's not going to be around much longer.
Probably not. I'm obviously excited to see Willie, but I'm more excited to see Trigger. His guitar.
I don't know about his guitar.
Oh, his guitar's fucking legendary.
Why?
It's beat to shit, pretty much falling apart. It's got holes in it. Like he literally just and the hole's not from his pick. It's from his fingernails. It's below the strings.
Oh, it's from like hitting it.
Yeah, and I watched a video. There's this one guy. His job is to maintain Trigger, and like he talks about how he's got to like keep reinforcing the inside to not let it fall apart, but still keep the character of the guitar. The guitar's got signatures. Like everybody he plays with signs his guitar. So it's like such an iconic piece of American music.
That's cool.
I'm like so stoked to see it.
It's going to be in one of the Hard Rock cafes in a few years.
Yeah. And I'm going to eat some funnel cake and stuff my face with a sausage. Well, that's how I'm getting backstage passes. Nah, I'm talking about a grilled fair sausage with peppers and onions on it.
You know what I've never had?
What have you never had?
Giant turkey legs.
I have.
I want one. And I've never had one.
Do you like smoked ham?
Yes.
It tastes just like smoked ham.
I mean, I like turkey.
Doesn't taste like turkey. It tastes like fucking smoked ham.
Okay, that's fine.
I
really want it. I've never had it. I just really want it. Last time I was at Busch Gardens, the lady in front of me in line got the last one.
Oh, what a bitch.
Still never had it.
I had a churro for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
It was okay.
Okay.
It was,
from where?
Hollywood Studios.
Oh.
The Walt Disney World Resort.
You gotta go. I'm gonna go take you on a food tour somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take you on a food tour.
We'll do it, but it's got to be like mom and pop little hole in the wall greasy joints.
I'm not taking you to Chili's in Atlanta. Come on.
I want my baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs, barbecue sauce.
I don't understand people who eat deep fried butter.
It's a thing. The way it comes out, it's not like it's a stick of butter by the time you eat it. It's like very, very rich pastry. They batter it, and the butter seeps into the outside.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're eating a stick of butter.
Do you know
It's
what
just very buttery.
Japanese people do this thing, and I don't know what it's called, and
Amaris.
that too. Japanese people know a thing or two about food. First of all, let's just throw that
They
out
know
there.
a lot about food.
Yeah. But they have this dessert, and they freeze milk, and they mix it with sugar or something. It's like milk and sugar, and they freeze it.
We call that ice cream.
No, listen, they freeze it into like a cube,
Okay.
and then they deep fry it.
Okay.
And so when it gets deep fried, the milk becomes like gelatinous.
Huh.
It's so good. And you like bite into it, and the outside is like a tempura, or it's like fried crispiness on the outside, and the inside is like a gelatinous, milky substance.
I need to find a place around here, like a Mexican restaurant that does deep fried ice cream, because I fucking love it.
Yeah. I think I prefer Mexican fried ice cream over Japanese fried ice cream.
I'll agree. Because usually Japanese fried ice cream is like green tea ice cream. It's weird.
Hey, now. Matcha is like my favorite
I like
thing.
green tea.
Okay.
I don't like green tea ice cream. That's just
Matcha
weird to me.
is one of my favorite flavors. Excuse
Matcha.
me. That's what that green, because green tea and matcha is a little bit different, but usually when there's like green tea ice cream, it's matcha ice cream.
Okay.
I just really love it. It's actually rice.
I like pistachio ice cream. I like rice pudding.
I like all of those things.
Yes.
I like all of those things. You know what I made Mike for Valentine's Day? Well, I'm gonna tell you because you don't, because you weren't at our house.
Clearly.
Sorry, I just realized that I've been starting all of my statements with questions, and I would like to stop that
you
right
tell
now.
me what you made for Mike, and I'll tell you what I made for my family on Valentine's Day.
I saw this recipe for bananas Foster, but I don't like bananas, so I made like peaches Foster.
Wait, what? You don't? What?
No, I don't like bananas. I like raw bananas, like just eating them, but I don't like
Okay.
cooked bananas because they taste weird and gross when they're soft and old. They taste like baby food to me, and not in a good way.
Okay.
But
Weird, but okay.
so I made like peaches Foster.
Do you like fried plantains?
Yes,
Okay.
that's different.
It's a fucking banana.
It's not a banana. It's a plantain.
It's a banana. It's a different variety of banana.
Wait, do you mean like fried plantains, or do you mean like tostones? Like fried
What's
plantains.
the difference?
Well, because the fried plantains are soft and they're like kind of sweet, and then the tostones are like the fried smashed flat ones that are kind of hard.
Okay, no, I like the ones that are still banana shaped.
Okay, all right. Banana shaped.
Banana shaped.
No, I made it basically. I made peaches Foster, and I had never set food on fire before on purpose.
Okay.
I felt accomplished.
Scared the shit out of you, didn't it?
No, I felt accomplished. I was
Nice.
like, oh, this is much easier than I thought it was.
Yeah, I love bananas Foster. I've done it. I've done bananas. Apples works well too.
I love peaches. The peaches were beautiful.
Millions of peaches.
Peaches
for
for
me.
me.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for free.
free.
Look out. The presidents of the United States of America.
Heck yeah.
No, I made country fried steak
Mhm.
with homemade mashed potatoes, and I think I made asparagus and my sausage gravy. And for dessert, I made butterscotch pudding.
That sounds excellent.
It was.
That all sounds great.
It was.
So
Now we're eating healthy and it sucks. Although a friend of mine gave me the idea, and I basically made chicken caprese for dinner last night. I took chicken breast,
Mhm.
Full size, boneless, skinless, cut it in half, cubed it up kind of small. Tricolor rotini
okay.
pasta, corkscrews. But I, did the chicken in olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Then I added, just after the pasta was done, just before to mix everything together,
Mhm.
I cubed up some mozzarella cheese. Took a thing of the little grape tomatoes, the little tomatoes, cut them in half. Some fresh basil, and then drizzled some balsamic vinegar on top. Tossed it all together.
That sounds
It was
nice.
fucking good.
That sounds great.
It was good. Then the kids are responsible for cleaning up after dinner, so they'll clear the table and do the dishes and everything. So Kiara yells in, "There's a little bit left. You want me to wrap it up?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" It was good. It was like 2 fucking pieces of rotini and like 2 little pieces of chicken.
Aw.
I was so excited there was some left over. Wanted to go eat it today. I'm like, motherfucker.
That's like one bite.
Yeah, I know. So I ended up going to Panda Express. Teriyaki chicken.
I don't remember the last time I ate at Panda Express.
Country fried steak is American for
Bistec empanizado.
God bless you. Espiritu Sancte. Domino's Frito Nabisco.
It just means breaded steak.
Oh, Okay.
It's like, but it's different though because I don't know what kind of batter did you use for your chicken fried steak?
Breadcrumbs.
Oh, so it's the same thing. Because I've seen some people do like a whole batter and deep fry the whole thing.
No, I it's thin. What I actually got, I didn't get cube steak. A lot of times I'll buy cube steak if I'm being lazy, but I bought thin sliced sirloin steak, pounded them bitches as flat and beat up as I can get them. And I dunk them in an egg wash and then dunk them in breadcrumbs and pan fry them.
Yeah.
And then I serve it with sausage gravy. But that sounds delicious. Like, I don't even know what goes into the preparation of it, but just because it's Spanish, it sounds delicious.
You just said it. What, beef steak and pan asado?
Yeah, you said it. I didn't say it.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the breaded pounded steak.
I'm looking at it and I'm going to say beef steak empanadas. I don't speak Spanish.
Well, you should. So
now I want fucking beef empanadas.
Go to Cayman Cove.
They have empanadas?
Yeah, they have spicy chicken, beef, and they used to have crab. I don't know if they still do.
Oh. Cool. Empanadas to me are like Spanish Jamaican beef patties.
I love those too. I love those too.
Very similar.
I like Jamaican beef patties. And there used to be a place I used to go to that they had vegetarian patties. But like I love the yellow bread, whatever that stuff is on the outside. I don't know. Is it egg?
It's egg.
Okay. So listen, I've said this 100 times and I'll say it for the rest of my life. Food wrapped in other food is the best food.
Okay, so with the bistec empanizado,
close enough.
Very cool. You marinate it first. That sounds delicious. That really sounds good.
Okay, I guess you could do that too.
Yeah,
I've never made it.
Sounds
personally.
good. Sounds good.
And I haven't eaten it since my grandma was alive. Rest in peace. I love her.
Rip grandma.
She watches out for me and she teaches me how to sew from the afterlife.
Okay.
So I'll elaborate more on that another time.
Okay. No, actually, what I want to do is, and I hope the place is still there. There used to be this place in Port Jeff that it was a I can't remember, it was a Dominican restaurant, but it was a Latin restaurant, and they had the fucking best rice and beans. And there was a guy that worked with me all the time. He was a Puerto Rican guy, spoke Spanish. So anytime we want to order from there, we'd send him, because us fucking white people would fuck up the order.
Yeah, he knows how to order.
Exactly. So he would go up there and get, but in their rice, they put like olives, the green olives, and a yuca, and whatever the fuck else was in there. Just a whole bunch of shit in this fucking rice, and it was so good.
I need Cuban food in my life.
Yeah.
I need decent Cuban food in my life.
Yeah, I need Cuban coffee.
That too.
I haven't had that in a long time.
That's because
Café con leche.
Everything in freaking Tampa is like, we sell Cuban coffee, but it's really just espresso because the Italians are like, we're going to do the coffee. You guys have the sandwiches.
The last time I had it was at Modern Vapor.
They had Cuban coffee there?
Yeah. I don't know if the guy that was working at night knew how to make it.
Oh.
But the woman who owned the place was Cuban.
Okay.
And she knew how to make it. She'd have the old Cuban guys would come in the mornings and have coffee and drink booze. That's why she used to hide the booze, because she didn't really have a license for it. So she's closed. She's out of business now, so I'm not like throwing her under the bus.
I every now and then at work at the cafe, I'll have some poor Hispanic person who comes in and it's like, I just need a Cuban coffee and I don't know how to order it from Starbucks.
My brother just do you remember the nasty Chinese food place that was on the corner of East Main and Broadway? Yes, and I ate there once with Johnny V and I got fucking sick. We would order from Little Hong Kong, which was up the road, and they delivered. And the girl would answer the phone, "Little Hong Kong, may I help you?" But this place on the corner that he's talking about, the name of it was the new #1 Chinese kitchen.
The new one?
New #1 Chinese kitchen. Not the old #1 Chinese kitchen. Not just the #1. New #1 Chinese. Anytime a place has to call themselves the #1 Chinese kitchen, it's going to suck. You're going to have a bad time. Like around here, anytime somebody says like, NYPD pizza.
Yeah.
They suck.
I don't know anything about them.
It's a pizza joint over in Channelside. It's like they have their pizza delivery car looks like a fucking NYPD Cruiser, the white with the lettering. Yeah, it's a fucking gimmick. New York Times Square pizza. They suck.
I like Marco's Pizza.
Marco's is okay.
They're my favorite.
That's okay. There's a place by me, Bloomingdale Pizza, which is actually not on Bloomingdale. It's on Bell Shoals. Weird. I got lasagna we ordered the other night. I got lasagna and a calzone, and they were really good. Pizza's actually, and for me to say the pizza's good, being from Long Island, pizza's good.
I need to do cooking with Cole soon. I haven't done cooking with Cole in a while.
Yeah, you haven't.
Yeah, I think last thing I made was Cuban rice and beans or something.
Now it's a really nice cafe. Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to remember when it was that I was down there and saw that it was no longer a Chinese joint. But yeah, that whole town's changed, man. Danford's has changed. There's still know a few people that are working there, but yeah, it is what it is. The world changes as the world churns. Yeah, you need to do a cooking with Coley.
What do you want me to make?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
I want you to make. Hang on, let me phonetically say it again.
Beefsteak and pan.
Beefsteak and what?
I'll never say it. I'll never make that.
You'll never make that?
No, I'll never make that. I don't.
What the fuck good are you?
I don't have time to buy steak and pound it out and marinate it. And also, we don't really cook steak in our house too much. Just because we don't.
Okay. See, now Randy's got the inside scoop because he knows a thing or two about water treatment and filtration and water. He says they make a system now that mimics New York City water to be used in pizza and bagels in Florida.
Why? I know that I've heard that the best pizza and bagels come from New York because of the water, but how do you mimic that? Because then it just because of the minerals and stuff.
Yeah, it's what's in the water, or sometimes more importantly, what's not in the water.
Okay.
Baking is chemistry. Baking shit is 100% chemistry. To me, cooking or chefs, there's a little bit of chemistry involved, but it's more artistry, and baking is fucking chemistry.
Yeah, for sure.
Soup to nuts chemistry. Because if the chemical imbalance is wrong, the whole fucking thing goes to shit and you end up with crappy pizza. But that's what it is. It's what's in the water, and sometimes more importantly, what's not in the water. What is the difference between what our water has here and what their water has or doesn't have? I fucking don't know. Randy could probably give us some insight on that, but I've heard that that system exists, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I'm sure if that's that system's in somewhat of an affordable package. The place I've been getting pizza at, the crust is right. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. The one thing that I found with baked goods here, and it's probably one of the reasons why Cuban bread is so good here, is because they use lard.
Yeah.
Lard just fucking makes everything delicious.
Duh.
But pizza crust if you use the regular water to make bread or pizza crust, it's very crumbly. The bread's very crumbly. It doesn't crust up right. It's just weird. Publix has good bread. Absolutely has good bread. But a lot of times the bread you get or the pizza crust you get is crumbly. It's not good.
That's not something I've ever thought about one way or the other, because I don't usually eat the crust.
What the fuck?
I'm one of those baby adults that doesn't eat the crust unless I'm really hungry.
You need to eat the crust.
Sometimes I'll take a bite of it and then I decide, it doesn't taste
you know what
good.
it is? It's because you're from Florida and you're used to the crust sucking. The part of the crust under the pizza is always okay because it's got cheese and sauce infused into it. But the crust, the bare edge, is usually trash.
Yeah.
But I like the crust. I eat my pizza crust.
That's why I have a dog.
Okay, fair enough.
And be like, hey, Minnie, want some pizza crust?
What's funny, my father, talking about feeding the dogs. My father-in-law he's very particular about food, and roast beef has to be rare. Mm-hmm. If it's brown at all, he doesn't like it. So what he does is he'll get sliced roast beef from the deli department, and he'll come home and he'll cut the fucking brown edges off and feed it to the dogs, saying he's cutting the fat off of the pieces. Oh, he's a nut job. But that's it. And literally he wastes half of what he bought because it's not pink.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No.
Psychotic people. Your mom says, remember the donuts at the top of Pikes Peak?
No.
Were they good?
No, I don't remember. I don't even.
She didn't even know she was ever at Pikes Peak.
I remember pizza in England. That was good. And I remember the best food that I had in Europe was summer sausage with garlic butter and a baguette in France.
God bless you. Closest thing to going to France I was Epcot. They got a good croissant,
Listen,
ham and cheese.
I feel bad for everything that's going on in Paris right now, in France.
What's going on in France right now?
There's like protests and stuff.
Yeah.
But the city smells like pee. If we're being real.
No shit. They don't bathe.
No, like, you know how you walk by.
You never spend time in New York City, have you?
I have, and it smells like
pee.
that.
It smells like pee.
Yes, it smells like pee.
Yeah. Well, it's a city.
You know, and I'm not the only person who I've heard say that. So I feel like Paris is really overrated. Sorry, Mom. But,
Paris.
and I feel like England is underrated.
Think so?
Yeah. I had a lot of fun there. I liked it a lot. Learned a lot.
You know where I want to go?
Where?
Ireland. I want to go to Ireland.
I would like to go to Norway.
Actually, more important, I want to go to Scotland. I'm not Scottish, but I want to go to Scotland.
Why? I mean,
I just love redheaded chicks with that accent. It just I could listen to that all day. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but I could listen to that all day.
I want to go to. There's a church dedicated to the Norse god Thor in Norway, and I want to see it.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of shit dedicated to Thor in Norway. It's kind of where it came from. Your mom says we did the railroad ride up to the top of Pikes Peak, and the donuts are extra fluffy because of the altitude. Okay.
I don't remember having. I remember the train ride, but I don't remember having donuts. So, sorry. I remember it being really cold up there.
That happens up in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Donuts.
Donuts.
Donuts. I want some donuts.
I like pretty food. I like cute food.
Like decorated donuts and cupcakes and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily want to eat them, but I would love to photograph them. Like I do whenever I see like a really pretty, like beautifully presented cupcake that's like pink frosting and rainbow. What do you call the little things?
Sprinkles.
Yeah, I was gonna say sparkles, but that's not what it is.
Or believe it, you know what? I got what the hell did I buy? I bought something that had a recipe on it, and it didn't call them sprinkles; it called them jimmies. Yeah, apparently that's a name for them.
Well, I think like very colorful food that's probably terrible for you because it's all sugar. I think it's so pretty, and I love photographing it.
I forgot I took a picture. That's the chicken caprese I made.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe I'll make some later because I have that pasta at home.
Yeah,
I think I do anyway.
I bought it because it was on sale.
I like that tricolored pasta.
So do I.
Yeah, I usually buy the Publix brand because it's like buy one get one free or whatever it is.
I think Ronzoni.
Whatever. I buy whichever one is on sale.
One of them's on sale. Buy one get one. So
yeah, I usually buy if there's like a buy one get one free deal. I'm gonna pick that one.
But this is what I noticed: the tricolor rotini was like a 12-ounce box, and everything else is a 16-ounce box.
Oh, I'll look at that too. I'm like, if it's buy one get one free, I'm definitely getting a 16-ounce.
But the tricolor rotini was the only. It didn't have a 16-ounce box. Probably because it's more expensive to make, so to keep the price the same, they give you less. That's
the other ones are all white.
That's what they did with cans of tuna. The cost of tuna went up. So to keep the price constant, they made the cans smaller.
They're not like 5.5 ounces or whatever anymore.
No, they're smaller.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Well, do you make it more expensive? What do you cut the size? So they all cut the size.
I'd rather, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough call. That's a tough call because sometimes I need 16 ounces for my recipe.
Exactly.
So otherwise I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to figure out what the proportions for everything are for the lacking 4 ounces and then have it be too saucy or something.
You just add a little less sauce. Or you get sauced either way.
Too much sauce.
Can never have too much sauce. See, I argue with my wife about this. Like, to me, and what I know and what I've learned is certain pastas go to certain sauces.
Yeah, because the pasta shape holds the different sauce differently.
Exactly. Angel hair. She wants angel hair. No matter what the sauce is, it could be a meat sauce. She wants angel hair.
Do you prefer?
It's lost.
Do you prefer like short pasta, like the rotini or penne, or do you prefer like angel hair, spaghetti, fettuccine, longer?
Depends on the sauce.
Okay.
Depends on the sauce. So like a regular tomato sauce, just a plain marinara sauce.
Yeah.
Linguine. I prefer linguine over spaghetti.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just
a flat one. That's flat,
it's
right?
Flatter. Yeah.
Okay.
Fettuccine is the flat, really wide ones.
Okay.
And that goes with Alfredo sauce. And none of that jarred fucking shit. Alfredo sauce should not have any cream in it. It should be butter and cheese. That's it.
I'm guilty of buying canned Alfredo.
Oh, so am I.
I literally don't care because
when I make fettuccine Alfredo,
yeah,
I just do it with butter and cheese, the traditional, the official Italian way. But I make this thing with tortellini, peas, and bacon, and I use the jarred sauce for it.
Do you
I'm guilty of it too.
Pasta casseroles?
Yeah, I'll fucking eat anything. But like I said, different sauces go with different pastas. So like a lighter sauce, like if I'm having something like just like oil, oil and garlic.
Yeah.
Angel hair would go good with that.
A
lighter sauce, lighter pasta. Meat sauce, rigatoni.
I forgot what they're called, but Mike buys this pasta that's like straws. It's like long, skinny straws. Like they're whole, like it's a hole.
Yeah.
I think those are really cool.
Yeah.
And he makes.
Well, no, it's not fusilli.
Yeah, it is.
It is fusilli?
Yeah.
But fusilli was corkscrew, but hollow.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, whatever.
It's in our.
Your mom says mini farfalle.
Oh, those are cute.
Are those the little bow ties, yeah?
The bow ties. I like shell personally. I like shell pasta because the sauce gets all up in there.
See, the shell pasta, depending on the shell, because there's two kinds of shells. There's like the seashell looking one, and then there's orchette, which is like elephant ears, they call it, where it's bigger and a little doughier.
Probably not that one. I like the one that just looks like a little bowl.
That's a mac and cheese thing. That's cheese sauce. Unless it's a big shell and then it's stuffed shell.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's different. I am waiting for the day that I meet the psychotic person who uses lasagna pasta as just like a regular pasta. Like they just like eat the whole thing with sauce.
When I'm making lasagna and there's extra noodles, I'll dunk it in the fucking sauce and stuff the whole thing in my mouth.
But you're making lasagna.
Okay.
It's not like you go out looking for the lasagna pasta and then you eat it with just Alfredo sauce or something.
Lasagna is nothing more than Italian cake.
Oh, like the layered?
Yeah,
that's how I feel about spanakopita, but Greek.
Spanakopita.
It's Greek lasagna.
My mom made, I got a shout out to my mom who's not fucking listening. She made Lebanese meat and spinach pies last week, and they were fucking ridiculous. So good. The Lebanese pie, they call it fatire. It's usually triangle shaped, but she makes it in a half circle. Look kind of like an empanada. Okay. And the meat one, I forget what the hell. It's like got tomatoes and meat, ground beef and stuff. But the spinach one, it's like spinach and lemon and oil, and it's just so good. And she made them, but the dough isn't like, it's not phyllo dough. It's more closer to a pizza dough.
Okay.
She uses pizza dough to make it, but even when you get it traditionally, it's a heavier dough.
Make your own pasta. You make your own pasta.
Ain't nobody got time for that. No, she is asking, have you ever? It's a two-part comment. Roger, have you ever made your own pasta?
Oh, I thought she was saying make your own pasta.
I tried it once. I don't have a pasta roller. I tried it once. I think I tried making like fettuccine because it was easy. It came out okay. It's one of those things where I don't have the patience for it, and I'll just fucking buy pasta. Yeah,
with all the time and equipment and space and mess that you have to make pasta, just buy it.
Exactly.
Like I hate to say that for a lot of things, but for pasta is like just buy it.
Like one thing I've always wanted to make, and I will probably never make, is my homemade pierogi. I love pierogies. Pierogies are the greatest fucking thing ever. I don't care what anybody says. But I want, it's like, to make homemade pierogi, that'd be awesome. But there's just so much work involved. It's like, fuck it, I'll just buy it. Fuck it.
I don't say that to a lot of things. Like, there's not a lot of things that I'll just be like, I'd rather buy it. But pasta's one of them.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, his wife got him this fancy pasta making machine, and it's like he's got to make the dough by hand, but it's like a pasta roller.
Yeah,
it's got all kinds of fancy shit on it, and he posting nonstop on Facebook of all this fucking pasta that he's making. And it's like so much work because you gotta make it, you gotta make the dough, you gotta roll the dough, run it through the thing, and cut it and hang it and dry it and this and that. And fuck that shit.
I found on YouTube like a 2-hour documentary about the history and all these different types of pasta, and this guy shows you how to make, like, he literally has about 20 different pastas in the documentary, and he'll show you how to make them, and he'll talk about the history and why they make it that way. And I was like, this is so interesting.
Excuse me. to watch that stuff would be interesting as hell. I just don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, I don't have a kitchen big enough for it. So
That's true. So your mom's asking, what's in pierogi? And the answer to that question is anything you want. But traditionally, it's usually like a mashed potato filling, like potato and sauerkraut, potato and cheese. There are some sweet pierogies. Like one of my favorite ones is a sweet cheese pierogi.
I love sweet cheese.
And it's got sweet farmer's cheese. Sometimes use cottage cheese if they're cheating. But they're very sweet. And I pan fry them in butter. I serve them with sour cream, and they're so fucking good.
Never had pierogi.
What?
I know. Mike shit on me the other day for it because I'm just like, I don't know. I've never had a pierogi. I've never had a desire to order one.
Okay, then that's what I'm gonna make for you guys. Fuck everything else. I'm making you guys pierogies. Not homemade. I'm gonna get them from the fucking joint. But I've had pierogies with like fruit and cheese filling. I've had them with potato and mushroom, sauerkraut and mushroom. But it's a Polish ravioli. Best way to describe it.
Polioli.
Now I'm not hoity-toity where I'm above buying Mrs. T's pierogies from the store. They're good.
Do you like buy them frozen or?
Yeah, the place we go to in St. Pete, it's a place called Pierogi.
Oh.
Pierogies. They have them. They're actually made in Chicago and they're frozen, but they're handmade, like traditional pierogies. Mrs. T's are not. I wouldn't really call them authentic Polish pierogies, but they're good. As like an introduction to the pierogi.
Wait, is it a Polish thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was an Italian thing.
No.
I don't know.
No, well, because it ends in I. That's why.
Okay.
No, it's Polish, and the traditional Polish foods, like the staple foods, is gołąbki, which is stuffed cabbage.
Okay.
It's meat stuffed in cabbage. Pierogi, kibasi, which is Polish sausage. Then you get like cabbage soup and stuff like that. But
I love cabbage.
yeah,
I love cabbage.
cabbage.
I love cabbage. I love kimchi. I love sauerkraut. I like steamed cabbage. I like cabbage soup. I like peppered cabbage. I like cabbage.
You should try. You should actually try this because it's pretty good. It's not like my grandma made, because the way my grandma made her gołąbkis was ridiculous. But Publix down here, or at least the one by me, in the deli department, they sell this company called Park Avenue Stuffed Cabbage, I think it's called.
Okay.
They make you got 4 stuffed cabbages in this little tray. They are so good. I got them Saturday night.
The first exposure to stuffed cabbage I ever had was my parents and I, for whatever reason, we went to a Hungarian night at like a cultural center or something. I don't really remember the details, but that's
Hungarian food and Polish food are pretty close.
Yeah, and so it was really good, and I was just like, I freaking love this.
Yeah,
and
it's usually in a tomato type sauce.
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't really remember.
But
I just remember the stuffed cabbage,
yeah,
and I was like, wow.
It's stuffed with meat and rice, and so my grandmother used to make them. She used to use Campbell's tomato soup as the tomato part.
Okay.
Which is, it's not a true tomato sauce, but she used to do it, and she'd make them in a pressure cooker.
Okay.
And they're so good. They were so good.
Do you have an Instant Pot?
No. And here's the thing. And everybody in listener land, you can put in your 2 cents. I'm tossed up between investing in an Instant Pot or an air fryer. I've heard good things about both.
I don't have any opinion on either one.
Okay.
But everybody's like ranting and raving about Instant Pot, and there's all these cookbooks on Instant Pot and Instant Pot.
The only thing that's steering me closer to the air fryer is I like food that has crunch.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind things that aren't crunchy, but like people are like completely cooking every meal in the Instant Pot, and it's mushy food.
That's how I feel. That's how I think it would be.
Now there are some foods that are good, like stuffed cabbage. I'd make that in an Instant Pot. It'd probably be delicious because it's a pressure cooker. But things that need to be crispy. I need some crunch in my life. That's one of the reasons why I don't love sushi, is because it's too much mush.
Randy says that he has an air fryer. Maybe you can ask him his opinion on how he likes it.
I just used my air fryer last night. How do you like it, Rando? I've heard good things. Now I have a family of 4 and we're relatively big eaters. So there's a couple different models that I'm looking at. One they're around the 5.8 quart size, which means I still have to cook things in batches, but I'm just curious to see. What does he say? Mom says that was for my college class. I had to experience a culture's food that I never had and was the only culture in Florida I had never experienced. Okay, fair enough.
I had a lot of fun when my mom was in college. I would tag along.
Nice.
Yeah. I got exposed to college courses between my parents when I was like 10 or younger.
That's awesome.
So can I just tell you a real quick story? I'm going to tell you.
My
dad was in his English course. So my dad went to college and then he stopped going to college when I was born. And then when I was older, he went back to college.
Okay.
And I was in 5th grade. So I was like 10 years old and I would go with him to class. And usually they didn't care because I would just sit in the back and like do my homework. And I remember one day they were talking about something like, what is the climax of a story? What is the denouement? And nobody was answering.
Well, it depends on the story.
Well, yeah, right. Well, they were talking
that.
about like story structure, how there's the rise of action, the climax, and the denouement. And nobody was answering. And I was like, I'm 10 years old in this class, and I'm the only one who seems to know the answer. So I just quietly raised my hand and answered. So that's it. That was the end of my story.
That's funny. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning more towards the air fryer than the Instant Pot. Although I probably at some point will get both. And it's like some of those gadgets come and go. Like the one thing I do miss, the one kitchen gadget I miss was my Showtime rotisserie oven.
You're going to tell me you're George Foreman girl.
No, I hated that. I fucking threw that thing out. To me, it didn't cook right. I didn't like the way it cooked.
I would love a panini press.
I have one.
Like a heavy one?
Yeah.
I want one so bad.
Oh, I make so much shit in that. Like that's probably the one gadget that I have used the most. And I've had it since pretty much since I moved. Actually, no, I had it before I moved here. So I've had it since like 2011. It's like half broken at this point, but it still gets hot and it still makes good sandwiches.
I like pressed food. So I'd probably make quesadillas like every day.
Okay. I've made quesadillas, and it's the only problem with making a quesadilla in it is it's got too much weight and it'll like squeeze all the cheese out. Oh,
gotcha.
So
my grandma taught me a trick that if you have a regular pan and then you put your quesadilla or your sandwich or whatever you have to press on the pan, and you put a plate on it, and then you put like a can of beans or a heavy pot or something on top of it.
Okay.
So you make your own press.
See, when I make quesadillas, I just do them in a frying pan.
Yeah.
I'll do it like a full 2 full tortillas stacked up. But I'll just do it in the frying pan. It comes out fine. Get a nice crust on the tortilla.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Now, Cuban sandwiches, on the other hand, they need to be pressed.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question for you. Yes or no to honey butter on your Cuban sandwich?
Honey butter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, thank you. I went to fucking Publix, and this is going back a while because I haven't ordered a Cuban sandwich from them for a while. And I ordered, Cuban sandwich, I want the bitch pressed. They put honey butter on it.
No, girl, no.
But it's like a mess. It's like a mess to eat because you're all greasy and shit dripping off it.
Okay, question for you. Tomatoes and lettuce on your Cuban sandwich?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Fuck no.
No. Better question. Salami on your Cuban sandwich.
It's traditional, but I don't like it personally.
See, I like it. It's good.
It's traditional, yeah. So I never had a decent, I've had Cuban sandwiches in South Florida, and then I come to Tampa and they're like, would you like that on Italian bread? No, bitch, I want it on fucking Cuban bread. Would you like lettuce and tomato that? No, because that's not what a Cuban sandwich is. That's just a pressed Italian sub then at that point or something. Sorry, I'm just ranting.
No, you're right.
I'm throwing shade at the stupid place by my house.
Hey, this is the bitch about shit show.
This is the bitch about shit show. And you know what? And I wrote them on their Facebook page and I was like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do Cuban sandwiches dirty like that? It took them over a year to respond to me and then they closed down.
Fuck them.
There's a laundromat there now.
Nice. See, what I'll do is if I'm feeling lazy, no honey butter on a Cuban sandwich. Thank you, Ma.
I've literally never even heard of that until right now.
I hate to say, but it became popular because that's the way Obama ordered it somewhere. So everybody started fucking ordering it.
No, you have mayonnaise and you have mustard. You have your 3 meats.
Yellow mustard.
You have your 3 meats. You have your pickles. I feel like I'm missing something.
Swiss cheese.
And your Swiss cheese. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's it.
Oh, I know what's
a little bit of butter on the bread. Like a little bit of regular butter, not honey butter or whatever.
Well, just to give it a little extra oil, little
so it doesn't
lotion to
burn and stick to your pan or whatever.
That plus you want the bread to get nice and crispy.
Yes.
That's key.
Yes.
So all right,
none of that honey butter, lettuce, tomato. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, no. Now the flip side is if you're not pressing it, like if somebody were to give me a sandwich that had the roast pork and the ham and the salami with lettuce and tomato, mayo and mustard, I would eat it. It would be a delicious sandwich to me, but you can't call it a fucking Cuban.
No, I'm gonna pick that shit off.
No, I'll still eat it because I like lettuce and tomato. It makes me feel better. Like I eat salad with my burger.
Like on your burger?
Uh-huh.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, on a burger is different. How's your ideal burger? Tell me about your ideal burger.
Depends on where it's from. If it's from a place that has actual good meat, like quality fucking meat, then I'll order it medium.
No, tell me like your toppings, not your meat style.
Oh, see, that depends on my mood. I have a wide variety of things I will like anything from as basic as Swiss cheese and sauteed mushrooms and onions up to fancy shit with bacon and lettuce and tomato and this and that. So I run the gambit. Now, fast food burgers, I love Whoppers.
Yeah, so you like the traditional
lettuce, tomato. I like lettuce and tomato on my burger, although I don't always have it.
Do you put any or all of these things, ketchup, mustard, mayo, on your burger?
I have put each of those things individually and in combinations of 2s and 3s.
I don't believe ketchup belongs on a burger because that goes with your fries. It's next to your burger.
Except I don't eat French fries.
Oh, fine. Fine.
No, see, to me, ketchup on a burger is fine. Mustard on a burger is fine. That I actually like having ketchup and mustard on my burger. I don't love mustard and mayo on a burger. Ketchup, mustard, mayo is fine, but just mustard, mayo.
If I have mayo, it has to be like a tiny little bit, like literally just enough to like
lube it up.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I don't like the way that mustard and mayo taste mixed together, but ketchup and mayo is fine. So if there's going to be mustard and mayo on my sandwich, they have to be on like the opposite ends.
Your mother said she likes medianoche better than Cuban sandwich. You got to tell me. I don't know
remember what goes into that because I don't remember a difference.
By the way, I made 100% homemade paella this past Sunday, and you did not invite me. Did you make it with all kinds of seafood and stuff? Because I love that. But you need to tell me what a medianoche is.
Yeah, medianoche. That means midnight, but I don't remember what goes into it.
Yeah.
So there's not a Cuban sandwich. There's a Hispanic sandwich that I forgot the name of it, that it has turkey and jelly on it. And that tastes like a berry jelly or like a
cranberry.
Maybe
like that would be fine.
That's what I really like. And that's called like it's a woman's name. The sandwich is a woman's name and I can't think of what it's called.
Okay.
So something about a blonde.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember. I don't remember.
I can't say for sure I've ever met a sandwich I really didn't like.
Because food wrapped in other food is the best food.
But as far as burgers go, I love anything from a patty melt, which is onions, Swiss on grilled rye bread.
Tuna melt, yes or no?
I've had it. I don't love it. Like I like tuna. I like tuna salad with mayo. I don't like my tuna packed in oil. It's got to be packed in water.
Okay.
It's got to have mayo and it's got to have sweet pickle relish
in your tuna salad.
In the tuna salad, when I make it at home, that's what I put in it.
My tuna salad is usually like a mishmash of a bunch of things. It's like celery and onion, and it has mustard and mayo and relish, and sometimes I put like minced carrots and like it's like a whole thing.
Your mom says the medianoche is the same thing as a Cuban, but with a sweeter yellow bread. And the other sandwich you're talking about is an Elena Ruth.
Okay, so the Elena Ruth is the turkey and jelly one, and I don't remember if there's any other ingredients other than that. And then, so the sweeter yellow bread, yeah, that's like an egg bread.
Now, my question is, do they press that as well?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
God
it's
damn,
like
that sounds good.
Yeah, it's like a yellow egg bread.
So it's like the crust on a Jamaican beef patty, that yellow.
Not quite.
Oh,
it's not quite as thin.
Okay.
Because
well, no, I'm just talking about yellow.
Oh yeah, it's like yellow. It's yellow egg bread.
That sounds delicious. I need to know where I can get one.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. That was a thing.
Yeah, I would totally eat that.
Yeah.
You know one of my favorite sandwiches? A muffaletta.
What is that?
Muffaletta. It's on flatbread. I don't know if it's on a flatter bread, but it's olive tapenade.
Okay.
Ham. Let me pull it up so I can get the ingredients right.
I never had tapenade till I met Mike, and I thought it was gross at first, and then he had me try it, and then I couldn't stop eating it.
It grows on you.
Yeah, I was like, well, I like olives, so why not? And here we are, 10 years later, and I still like it. So
yeah, It's an Italian sandwich, but I've had them. Okay, New Orleans. That's why. I've had them when they're most affiliated with New Orleans. But Muffaletta is a sandwich created in 1906, Central Grocery, Decatur Street, New Orleans. Okay, a Muffaletta loaf, olive salad, layers of mortadella, salami, Swiss cheese, ham, and provolone.
Wow, where can I get a sandwich right now?
Wawa.
Okay.
Which, if you're going to go to Wawa, you get a hot Italian. It's not actually a hot sandwich, but it's like pepperoni, salami, ham, and hot peppers.
I like hot peppers.
But pickled, like banana peppers, but not mild banana. They're hot banana peppers, so a little spicier, and they're good.
I need to go find a Wawa on the way home.
If you want to head the opposite direction you're going, there's one that way.
Okay.
I don't know if there's one up by you.
There's not. Well, between here and home, there's not.
Yeah.
They're building one right there, but they're taking freaking forever to do it.
Okay. Mom says Muffalettas are good, and they make a decent one at Harry's Inn at St. Augustine. I will have to check that out.
Oh, I want to go back to St. Augustine.
I like St. Augustine.
Me too. I haven't been in a few years, and I'm due. It's my home away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the Castillo de San Marco.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been last time I was in St. Augustine, like downtown on the water. St. Augustine was like 2008 when my brother got married, and the Bridge of Lions was still under construction.
Oh, I remember that. I was there that year too.
And we took a fishing chart. We went on this fishing charter, and it was just a shit show because we didn't catch a damn thing. But it was cool just being out there with dolphins.
That's cool.
We didn't catch any fish.
I love St. Augustine. One of my family came here from Spain. That's where they settled.
Like all the other Spaniards.
Well, there's a house with their name on it.
Really?
Yeah, with my parents' last name,
Yeah.
not my last name
Yeah.
anymore. But yeah, and we found out that they used to be a governor, and then some shit went down, and they ended up hauling ass to Cuba.
Oh, all right.
So we're Cuban now.
Kelly, well, let's face it, there's no real bread in Florida. That's not true. You can definitely overnight me some bagels. Don't overnight me some Seaport because that will not hold up well. But believe it or not, good bread is creeping up here in Florida. Publix has good bread, and every now and again you'll find a place that has it. But for the most part, if you go to most delis, there are no fucking delis here. But if you go to like Jersey Mike's, or you're getting shit fucking bread.
There's McAllister's Deli, which is a joke.
That's not bad.
It's not a deli.
No,
It's just like a sandwich and salad shop.
that's what a deli is.
I thought a deli was where you go and you can buy your meat and your cheese
Well, yeah.
and your bread and
Yeah, but you go to a New York deli, you can get sliced lunch meats and stuff like that, and cheeses and stuff. But what delis in New York are known for is their food, their sandwiches, heroes.
yeah.
To
me, a deli is always like basically they sell all the things to make a sandwich. It's just all spread apart.
same thing, but they'll also make it for you.
Okay.
The other thing delis are amazing for in New York are egg sandwiches. Whoa.
Yeah, you've told me about that before.
Hell yeah. Next time I go up, which is gonna be fairly soon. That's a further if I get up there in the morning, that's the first thing I do. The first morning I'm there, I always have an egg sandwich. The second morning I'm there, I always go for bagels.
I would like to try a New York bagel.
Go to New York.
Thanks. I'll be right back.
Come with me. Let's go.
I'm just going to take a walk.
I got to tell you a story about that later.
Taking a walk to New York?
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Kelly, it's surprising how good, food down here is not as bad as everybody thinks. Like, oh, you can't get good Italian. I found actually a couple of good Italian places. When we were starting to move down, my first reaction was, oh, they don't have Boar's Head here.
Of
Like-
course they have Boar's Head
like-
here.
like, not only do they have Boar's Head here, but Boar's Head's corporate headquarters is in fucking Sarasota.
If you go to Publix and you ask them for a sandwich, and I think if you don't ask, they always ask you, do you want Boar's Head or Publix?
Yep.
So, yeah, there you go.
Depending on the sandwich, sometimes I'm like, I don't need designer.
Yeah.
Just give me a generic.
I don't really care for that either now I think about it. But they always ask you.
There are some like certain cold cuts have to be like bologna, Boar's Head bologna.
I love that bologna is spelled Bologna.
Well, because believe it or not, it's an Italian meat.
I know it's Bologna.
It's actually bologna.
Oh, well, either way. It's not bologna.
It is from Oscar Mayer.
but they spell it
My
BOLO.
baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR.
My baloney has a second name. It's MAYER. Yeah, we've been there.
I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say because Oscar Mayer has a way with BOLOGNA. Bologna,
I want to drive the truck.
which is low budget mortadella. You have a mortadella, good mortadella.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Mike worked at Whole Foods and he had me try some.
whole paycheck.
And now it's just Amazon.
Yeah, you know how that acquisition occurred?
Tell me.
Jeff Bezos meant to say order this from Whole Foods, but instead he bought Whole Foods. Just telling Alexa. Alexa.
The other day I was at work and there's this girl who's named Alexis. And I was just like, I was yelling to her across the cafe and I was like, Alexis, make a sandwich. And the customer started laughing because they're like, Alexa, make a sandwich.
See what's funny? We have a couple of those wiretaps sitting around my house, and we changed the name of most of them. It's not Alexa, it's computer.
Like Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
My Google won't let me
Oh
change it to computer. Otherwise
Yeah.
I'd be like, computer.
no,
Call Roger.
No, the Echo, it gives you the option, one or the other.
Today I told my phone because I was driving and I didn't want to be a shithead and call and
Yeah.
talks and drive. So I was like, call Roger Nelson. And it just kept spelling your name with a D for whatever reason when it was like, who?
Because that's the British version.
And it was like, who would you like me to call? Who? And so finally I just said, call Nelson. And it figured it out and it called you.
That's funny. I'm trying to think. My Jeep has Bluetooth. The auto, Bluetooth through that. So it pulls up my address book. And some people I have to say their names phonetically because it just doesn't know. Can't recognize.
I have K2 in my phone as her real name.
Okay.
But then in parentheses, it says K2 Lemieux and it doesn't understand it. So it just says Lemieux.
Lemieux?
It says calling Lemieux.
That's funny. Roger, what did you think about the latest episode of The Orville? I really liked it.
Tell me about it.
You want me to spoil it?
Yeah, because I don't watch it because I don't have mainstream TV.
Well, it was part one of a 2-part episode where have you seen it at all? Do you know?
I've seen the first episode, so I know the premise of the whole show.
Well,
you were telling me about there's like a reverse gay couple.
Yeah, well, it's a gay couple, but it's because on their planet, females are not.
Right.
Anyway, one of the crew members was this robot named Isaac.
Okay.
And the planet he was from is all robots. And they're incredibly intelligent. And one of the crew members was falling in love with Isaac, but all of a sudden he shuts down.
Isaac shuts down?
Isaac shuts down. So
Okay.
they go to his planet to see what the fuck is up. And it's because his research was complete, his mission was complete, so they shut him down so they could be returned. But the crew wants him to come back. But while they're on this planet, trying to negotiate this planet joining this intergalactic union they belong to, they find the crew of the Orville finds basically skeletons of the humans or the people, whatever, that inhabited the planet. And it turns out
previous to the robots.
And it turns out those people created the robots. The robots destroyed the people.
Okay.
And the robots intend to take over the universe, killing all the, life forms and just replacing them with computers, or replacing them with robots rather. So, it's interesting. I hate 2-part episodes because I don't have patience. I want to see the whole thing. Just run a 2-hour special, please. So obviously they're gonna, come out of it because otherwise the show would fucking end. But it was good, and a lot of the themes in there, like with Bortus and his husband, and that dynamic, and a lot of the themes they hit on are actually pretty interesting. It's well done. It's very well done. I like it.
Can I watch those episodes for free without having regular TV?
Maybe. See, I don't pay for TV anymore. I have one of those the Amazon Fire antennas, or I could basically pull the digital signal and watch it over the air.
Okay.
But you got to be home when it's on because you can't DVR it.
Okay.
So, You know, but I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. I don't know if you could get it on Netflix or Hulu or one of those things.
I've been watching Netflix a lot lately.
Yeah?
It's not on Netflix
Okay.
because Family Guy is also not on Netflix.
Yeah, I know that sucks.
And no longer is Bob's Burgers.
Goddamn Fox.
Freaking love Bob's Burgers. I wish they were real so I could hang out with them. That's if I had to live in a TV universe, I'd want to live in the Bob's Burgers universe.
Now, what I did see that's really piqued my interest is Jordan Peele from Key and Peele.
Mhm.
He had that movie. I didn't see it, and I want to see it. What the fuck was the name of the movie? It was a horror movie that came out. He won awards and shit for it. Anyway, he's coming out with a new movie called Us,
Mhm.
and it looks really good. But he's involved in a reboot of The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
And now, you know, feel how you will about, you know, reboots and remakes, but I think that this will hold true to the spirit of The Twilight Zone. I love The Twilight Zone is probably my favorite television show of all time. It's just so well done. The only thing I'm thinking is, you know, back then when it originally aired in 1959 or 1960.
1963. I was just watching it.
1963. You sure?
That's what Netflix told me.
No.
You know how it says the year it came out.
Yeah.
Maybe the seasons or the ones that they were posting.
I could be wrong.
Okay.
But you know, back then it was truly about Get Out. That was the name of it. Thank you, Ma. The writing and the acting had to tell the story because the special effects they had at the time were minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you talk about really psychologically getting to you, I mean, you know, Rod Serling was a fucking master.
Yeah.
So, and now with, you know, the new reboot, there's gonna be more special effects type stuff. I hope they hold true to the way the originals were produced, with the writing and the quality of writing being the big driving factor.
I
But
learned
I'm excited.
recently that Black Mirror was like the series Black Mirror was loosely based off of, like, inspired by the Twilight Zone. How do you feel about Black Mirror?
Never saw it.
Any of them?
Nope.
It's set up in the same way that it's not a series where characters carry over.
It's just an anthology.
Yeah, each individual episode is its own story with its own characters and everything like that. There's some episodes that I liked. There's some episodes that I really didn't like. Some that I literally can't sit through because they're so boring. So
There was a show on, I'm trying to remember what the hell the name of it was. And it was a similar type thing. It was horror or sci-fi type base. And each episode was a standalone. Actually, each episode was split into two separate stories that were not connected.
okay.
And it was, again, an anthology. So each story could hold up on its own without seeing previous. But one of the things that really stuck with me was this one episode. I want to say it was maybe Bill Paxton or somebody like that played the lead character. It was this army unit is in the desert, and they come across what's like a window
In the desert?
and they look through it, and it's like a prairie. It's lush and green, and they see this family, but they finally, after attempting, they can't cross through because it's solid,
Mm-hmm.
but you can walk around it and there's nothing on the other side.
It's very Tim Burton, Beetlejuice in the desert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, you know, they're able to get in touch, you know, reach to these people, and they get, you know, that they're interacting, and they figure out a way to cross over. And this is like Little House on the Prairie looking people, they look Amish almost. And as soon as the soldiers cross over, they basically get eaten by these prairie folk.
Nice.
It was like a real sharp twist at the very end.
Aw.
And like that stuck out. I remember seeing it when I was younger. I mean, what the hell was the name of it?
I saw on Netflix not too long ago. It was called The End of the Fucking World. And it's actually based on a graphic novel.
Okay.
And I don't remember how it gets started, but this guy and this girl meet each other, and they're like teenagers, and the girl is like a rebel, and she's like, I do what I want, and then the guy's like, you probably shouldn't do that. But then long story short, they get into some trouble. She goes home with this older adult guy, and she doesn't realize that he's going to hurt her.
Okay.
Like, she thinks he's just a nice guy, and kid finds all these like videos of him like doing horrible things to teenage girls, and he's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And she's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And then so he ends up shooting him, or sorry, the teen kid ends up shooting the guy in the back of the head, or I forgot how he dies, but whatever. And so now they're like on the run, but nobody knows that this guy was so horrible.
Oh wow.
So they're like in this space between, should we out him or should we just like run away because we killed somebody? So, and that's where it ends, and I'm kind of mad about it.
Yeah,
it just like ends.
That whole anticlimactic non-resolution kind of sucks.
Yeah, the last scene is like the police or whoever the FBI or whatever, they find him, and then he like runs away into a field. Not a field. It's like it's like a dry lake bed.
Okay.
And that's like the end of it, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's like the first Lord of the Rings. 3 fucking hours of walking through, and thanks for coming with me.
But I found the end of the fucking world, the graphic novel at work, and that's the same place that it ends there too. So there's no more to it.
God damn it.
And I'm just like, damn, I thought that I could find some resolution in the book.
So, coming up to the end, let's talk about this new Connections Artist Showcase happening on March 6th, Wednesday, at Bellagio Cinema here in Tampa.
Let me tell you a little bit about it.
Tell me.
So, we have some beautiful burlesque performers. We have 2 hilarious comedians.
Yeah.
And 1 spoken word poet.
Nice.
And some dude named Roger hosting it.
That guy's an asshole. I've heard of him. He sucks.
No, we have Miss Katie Lemieux. She's going to be doing 2 acts for us, and I heard she's going to be bringing the fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is funny.
They're allowing it?
I'm going to allow it.
Okay.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Fire in the theater.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
You may want to let somebody know.
I will.
In case the fire alarm goes off.
It'll be
sensors.
Fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, good. It's on you. It's your show. So
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I have confidence.
Okay.
But so Miss Katie Lemieux is gonna be doing some fire and some burlesque, and she's bringing us 2 new acts that she hasn't. Well, she's performed one before, but the other one she hasn't performed.
Okay.
Miss Teddy Mayday, who has joined us previously, is also going to be joining us. I have no idea what she has planned, so don't ask. And I know that Miss Misty Rose, who has also previously joined us, she's doing something with water.
Which one's Misty Rose?
She was there in December, I believe.
Was she the one that was afraid to get naked because of the old ladies? Okay.
Yes, it was her. I think she'll probably be getting naked this time.
Sweet.
I mean, yeah, sure. She's
sweet in an artistic way.
Of course. So we have Miss Tara Zimmerman, and Reiko Basic. Who can you tell us something about him?
He's funny.
Okay.
He's from Sarasota.
Okay.
I've done a couple shows with him. Really nice guy.
Okay.
Really, really good guy. Everybody I've met from Sarasota, they're really cool people. So I like having them come up. I mean, Christina Foreman was great. Mark Solka was great, and Reiko's a good guy.
Teddy's from Sarasota.
All right, so she's cool too.
Yeah, so there you go. Misty's actually coming down from Orlando, so she's making a little bit of a trip for us. Yeah, she's making a little bit of a trip for us, and so we have Sandman, who's going to be reciting some poetry, some excerpts. He was good. Yeah, he's constantly producing new work. He has a couple of books that he's published. I
know he forced me to buy one.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yes, he did.
Which one?
The
Power of She.
Yes, I didn't fucking read it. I just bought it. Not only that, but he charged me like $20 for it. And he was charging like everybody else like 10.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, whatever. I'm not gonna fall for that shit this time.
He's a very interesting person. He is the ambassador poet of Ybor and the poet laureate of Tampa, or something
some
like
fancy word shit.
Some fancy thing like that, yeah.
Some word soup.
And he's originally from Alabama.
Okay. I came from Alabama with a banjo on my knee.
Maybe he did too.
Maybe, don't know whether or not Susanna cried for him.
But he sells flowers on the weekends. He's nice. A super cool guy. And he's always got a poetic word to share with you.
Nice.
He should be one of those people who like stands on the corner and be like, I'll recite you a poem for 10 cents. Or whatever. But anyway, so then we have that. We do have some vendors. We have I just got word, actually, I saw it pop down when we were doing our thing, that Miss Trish Stoker will be there with Pure Romance again. And
the dildo lady.
Yes. So we're gonna try to have I'm looking for a paparazzi vendor.
Okay.
Which shouldn't be too hard to find if we're being honest. And H+11. And haven't heard from her, but I'm hoping that Miss Vicky's Hidden Treasures will be back with us too.
Okay.
And one more thing that I just confirmed today, there's going to be a barber doing live haircuts. So if you need a haircut, who's going to be doing it for you?
Can he do my haircut while I'm doing my comedy on stage?
I'm sure he wouldn't be opposed to it.
Maybe let's do that.
Maybe let's do that. His name is Dane. He's the guy who did my first undercut.
I'm just gonna have him shave my head. Like, dude, just buzz it all off.
Like
I'm
while
telling
you're doing
jokes.
comedy,
Yeah.
like in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. He might be down for it. He
Maybe.
just recently like overcame some stuff in his life, so he like just got back into to barbering. Is that the right term?
Why not? It works.
Yeah, so he just got back into barbering, so I'm really happy that he's going to be joining us for this event. Like I said, he was going through some stuff, but he's back now and he's like ready to go, and I'm happy for him. He's a really nice guy.
Cool.
So yeah, so we just have like a couple of like random little surprises. It's going to be a little bit different than what we normally do, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we are changing the format a little bit in that we're not going to have so many comedians. We used to have 5, 6, 7 comedians.
Mm-hmm.
We've cut that back to try and do a not a shorter show, because the comedians and all the performers will be able to actually do a little bit more time, but just so it's not so jumbled and it'll be a better show, a better quality production. I think.
So I'm hoping for that. Worked on the flyers today, did a lot of promoting today. Shout
Flyer
out.
Looks good.
Thank you.
With the time on it and everything.
Huh?
With the time on it. I'm just busting your balls.
My God. I couldn't even go back and edit it. I had to like edit that on my phone and size the thing to make whatever. Anyway.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
How many times have you looked at my flyers? Maybe you forgot this. This is wrong.
Usually I don't forget things though, like personally.
It happens.
Yeah, it's true. And it wasn't until somebody asked me the time that I realized it. So I had probably already posted it a number of places.
It's the same time we've been doing it every fucking.
Exactly. There was one more thing I wanted to say. Dang, I forgot. Oh well, whatever. I'll remember.
Alrighty then.
Mm.
So tell us, besides the New Connections Artist Showcase on March 6th at Bellagio Cinema in Tampa, where else can you be seen coming up? I'll give you a minute to flip to that.
Well, okay, so for the rest of my regular work week, you can find me at Barnes & Noble in Carrollwood, slinging coffee and finding books for you and for the rest of the general public. We're having a book haul, and a bunch of titles, bestsellers, are going to be 50% off. So come in and grab a book. If this is now's your chance to grab that Michelle Obama book. And also Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on that list. And what's her name? Reese Witherspoon's. All books are on the sale.
There you go.
Sorry. Other than that, on Friday, you can find me belly dancing at Acropolis in South Tampa and doing an Hora Loca in Sarasota at Bon Bon, which is a Latin club. On a Saturday, you can find me doing a private party, so you can't find me, sorry, but you can find me and Miss Holly Havoc go dancing at Gaspar's Grotto afterwards. On Monday, March 4th, I will be in the parade at the Strawberry Festival at 1 p.m. And on Friday, March 15th, at another Hora Loca in Whiskey North. Other than that, on the 30th of March, I will be performing at Caliente, which is the clothing optional resort in Land O'Lakes.
That sounds like fun.
It is.
I'm
opting to keep most of my clothes on.
Good.
Okay.
Social media, where can we find you?
On Instagram at NIKOLE_Raven. That's Nicole with a K _Raven, like the bird. On the same name on Facebook and most other social media handles. And that's it.
All right. As for me, you could see me on March 28th. That's Thursday at the Pink Piano in Lakeland. I think that's the only thing I have set for this month. Starting to pick up on bookings again now that the season's changing. So there'll be more to add. But on Friday the 15th, I might be doing a show out of town. If you people in that area know what I mean, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're not going to talk about that anyway. As far as that goes, you can catch me on this show every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at FUBAR Weekly. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Roger Nelson, as opposed to the fake Roger Nelson, who's a dick. And that's pretty much it. So take care, brush your hair. Don't forget to spay or neuter your children. What you say, Nicole?
FUBAR out.